So Fulham 0, Arsenal 1, and we did win. We finally got that out of the way. It took 3 seasons to beat Fulham away. But Matty, we had to get the win. We got the win. It wasn't pretty. Make sure you sub to Southern Guna. But yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. And 50 minutes, we were awful. And in fact, to be fair, even after that, we weren't much better. But Fulham started quick. Yeah, we was like having some hairy moments. Yeah, they were cutting through us like a knife through butter, a warm knife through butter. And we were sitting there thinking, this is going to be a long, long day. Get to half time, we're thinking, okay, let's see what we do now. And the corner boys rocked up. Gabriel flick on, Trossard off the thigh, 1-0. And after that, I wouldn't say, well, listen, they had 0 shots on target. But I don't think that really explains the game. If you look at the statistics on paper, you'd go, oh, Arsenal dominated. But that weren't really the case. And that is the case of most of our games this season. We've looked good on the statistics if you didn't watch the game. But if you watched the game, it's been crap. And I won't just say that for Arsenal, Matty, before I bring you in. I'd say that for Man City and Liverpool as well. And I was saying that to Jez a minute ago. I don't think there's been a very good team in the league so far this season. I don't think any of the 3 that are considered title challengers have actually been that great. Yeah, and Liverpool started off, they were nicking their wins and this and that. We're nicking the wins. But Man City have got Haaland. So now, he's just different. I don't think all 3 of us can literally sit here with confidence and say, yeah, we're winning it. I don't think any of our 3 clubs can say that as fan bases. What did you make to today? Make sure you sub to Matty, it being the title. And give us your thoughts, man.
Well, for me, I just thought it was a team that was, both teams were coming, well, most of the players on our team were coming back from international duty. So I know that we have a tendency to, we start out slow coming back from international break, especially when we on a high momentum wise, which we were before the international break hit. I mean, it was kind of one of those. I think we needed to win more than anything, because we've got to keep up with these teams. And also, I think that there's not going to be anyone that looks really good until probably mid to late season. I still think people are still trying to get sorted out. Season's still young. A lot of stop start this season. It seems like as soon as they come back from break, they're back on another one, and it's killed a lot of momentum. So teams can't really get ramped up. Although I will say, I think City is one of the last 3 in a row, 3 or 4 in a row. So they're starting to kind of find a little bit of form there, especially with getting everybody up to speed. Holland's on fire. So that's kind of one of those, like, it's almost like watching a hurricane. You see it form and you just gotta see where it's going. As for us, it's all reliable, man. Corner, corner, corner. You know, I just we've got to find a way to get Jokeris going, and Jokeris got to find a way to get himself going as well. Um, the manager's going to have to. They're going to have to. He's going to have to move away from. This is the thing with Arteta. He has to learn as a manager to play to the player's strength and put him in your game plan should put him in positions to score. That was 1 or 2 good shots that he had on target today. One you had stepped away on, and of course we saw one when it was head on, and it was a good save by Leno. But we're gonna need more of that. The ball needs to be played at his feet. Look how much the ball is in the air and during in the game, just in the game, just in general. It's heading, kicking the air. Heading. The ball. When contrast that when you watch another league, the ball is on the floor. The ball is consistently on the floor. The ball needs to be on the floor, played to his feet. People say, "Oh, Haaland can do this," and Haaland's a different striker. He's a completely different striker than what Jokeris is. Both of them are strikers, but what each one does is completely different. That's the difference in the two. Anybody that saw Haaland's first goal today know exactly what I'm talking about for City. Well, you're not gonna see Jokeris jump way up in there and do that. It just ain't happening. It ain't happening. no matter how much you want to slice it. So you have to play to the player's strength. Zubamendi had a rough day at office today. He's going to have to get used to this league. Nobody wants to have that discussion, but he's going to have to get used to this league, and it's coming to him quick, fast, in a hurry. Like you mentioned on the broadcast, it's easy to play with Spain. I'm sure I probably could, I had played ultra competitive ball in almost 15, 20 years. I probably could go out and do a number.
You'd be better than Borja Iglesias, bro.
Yeah, I probably could go out and do a number with Spain, but he's gonna have to he's gonna have to deal with this off and on throughout the season because this is a new foreign territory to him. So, all in all, we won the game last year. We probably wouldn't have done it, especially coming off of the fact that we saw what City did, knowing that we needed to do something. The boys went out and got the win. Wasn't the most prettiest win, but they got a win. The key at this stage is to make sure that we can keep up with teams and not lose ground.
But the thing is, sorry to cut in there, I was saying this to Jez, yeah? There'll be a lot of our fans out there tomorrow that will be rooting for Man United. Yeah, I couldn't care less whether they win or not.
Well,
I couldn't care less because we're top, Matty. If Liverpool win, we're still top. So it's in our hands as it stands. Yes, there's a long way to go, but I'm not going to be cheering Man United tomorrow. That's for sure. Yeah, no way. Yeah,
I will watch
a draw will be perfect.
Yeah, I'll be watching the game as a neutral tomorrow, just sitting there to see what happens. Because for me, my eyes are clearly on Tuesday night. Me and the good brother DJB have been telling people there's a couple of lions that's out there, and one of them is on Tuesday night. And we've got to get a win. We cannot find ourselves in this playoff situation, having to deal with these other teams. We need to be able to easily find a way to get through this group to where we can coast into the next round of the Champions League. And you've got to win 2 games. You got to beat them, and you've definitely got to go beat Bayern Munich. Well, that's me and you both watched enough Bayern Munich the last couple of weeks together to know that that's going to be a pretty
firing as well, man. Kane's on smoke at the minute.
Elise, all those guys. Yeah, we watched
Diaz.
watched enough backroom highlights to sit down and watch these guys to know that ain't gonna be easy. And neither is the game Tuesday. So we've got to start hunkering down and getting serious about business because it's getting ready to start coming now. We're getting ready to go into November in a couple of weeks. And where did we fall off last season, ladies and gentlemen? It was November. So we've got to steady the ship, stay in lock and step with everybody else. There's going to be times where we're going to fall behind. There's times that other teams are going to pass us. The key is can we consistently continue to keep pace with the other teams? Because I think that the teams that do not keep pace with each other will be the teams that will fall by the wayside. We've got to make sure this defense stays healthy, make sure that our players are healthy, because we've got this defense. Clearly, as you can see, if this defense is all together, we're in decent shape.
Yeah, I think it's actually improved from last season, which is quite funny, actually, because I don't rate Calafiori as a defender. Going forward, I mean, that strike today, and somebody corrected me in my fan cam comments. I thought it was Trossard that was offside. It was actually Calafiori. But he can strike a ball. Yeah, he can, and we've seen him do it against Man City as well. We've seen him do it in other games. Like this guy he had a couple of chances today. Yeah, but when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, is he going to be afforded that luxury of being able to go forward when he's up against Elise, against like Bayern Munich at home? So is he going to be allowed to do that when we're playing up against Atleti on Tuesday? Because the other 3 are solid. Although I thought Saliba was pretty poor today, but in the grand scheme of things, we should be beating Fulham, and the quality between Fulham and the rest of these teams I've just mentioned is night and day. Like, let's be real.
See that's what I'm talking about. When I always tell y'all, I say you got to have both of them in the team. If Saliba has a bad day, Magalhaes is there to make up for it. If Magalhaes is off, Timber's there to make up for it. Saliba's there to make up for it. If Calafiori is a little overzealous, there's somebody there to make up for the mistake. But if you have any of those off, then it's potential chaos. And so, and we still, Mosquera is still proving himself. These are the things that I'm saying that down the line that we have to be conscious of. if we're going to be successful this season. Everybody's got to remain healthy. We cannot lose any of these players. I'd go on the record and say if we had not lost Timber the year he tore his ACL that first year,
we probably would have won the league.
Yeah, exactly. I was we probably would have be having a different discussion about this title picture that we've been in the last
and about the manager.
And the manager, yeah, because that, regardless of how chaotic it gets, he finds a way to settle it down. He's in and around. He doesn't panic as much. Every once in a while, he makes these a couple of weird passes throughout the game, but for the most part, he's a steady Eddie. And so, just health wise, we've got to maintain. Second, let me touch this too. Saka looked pretty good today. He looked refreshed. Looked like he was a little bit more refreshed than he was when he came a couple of weeks before we went on international break. He went on international break, excuse me. He came back today, looked pretty good. I thought I'm trying to think of who else there.
Rice got better the longer the game went.
But see, this is the problem. I don't know if because I hadn't watched the fan cams, I hadn't seen anything. I don't know if Kenny caught this or not. But see, these teams are collapsing in on Rice now. When Rice gets the ball, they're collapsing in. And it might be a case of Fulham did that today, but I'm going to watch Palace and watch this story and watch that a little bit closer going forward, because as soon as Rice touches the ball, they collapse on him and it puts him under pressure. And as soon as he's under pressure, it's counterattack.
Yep, it happened multiple times today.
Yeah, multiple times today that was happening.
He got away with one today, and we was on the counter, and then Eze was on the edge of the box, and Anthony Taylor brought it back. Do you know something I want to bring up before we wrap here?
Yeah.
I've just had a look at our next 3 Premier League games, right? We've got Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away, Sunderland away. Calafiori's on 3 yellow cards.
He's going to find one. He's definitely going to find one.
2 more, and he's going to miss the North London derby.
Him and Shaka are going to come to blows in the Sunday. I'm telling you now.
If he gets 2 yellows and then 3, Matty, he misses the North London derby.
That's a potential red, that game. When you're having to deal with Granite, that's going to be a fun one to watch. And
let's be real as well, Skelly's not really had a lot of game time. He's not really played a lot, So Calafiori's played all 8 games so far. Yeah. He's been featured. I don't know if he started. I can't remember if he started them. I don't think he started all. Maybe he has.
I think he might have got maybe 1, but I think that was the Carabao Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Calafiori has played. Have a quick look. Starts. No, he has. He started all of them.
Okay.
So Calafiori started every game in the season, right? And he's been booked in 3 of them. He's not been booked for the last 2, so he's due a yellow.
Yeah. So we know the odds. The odds are
Crystal Palace at home.
Yeah.
Burnley away. Sunderland away. If he gets 2 bookings and then 3, now we're going to throw Skelly in, who's not played all season. Yeah, that could be a banana skin against Tottenham, and this is the thing. And he'll be up against Kudus as well. But even if it isn't Skelly in there, and I said this on some of the other fan cams, right?
The manager might actually be slick and say, you know what? Let me sit him. Let me sit here, play him against Palace. Let me sit him against Burnley. And then play him against Sunderland and hope that he doesn't get out of hand. Because you're right. You probably want to try to keep having. You would like to have him for the.
You want to keep the winning team going, really.
Yeah.
9 out of the 11 you want to keep, really, didn't you?
Yeah, you want to have him for the Spurs match.
And as much as I don't particularly rate the guy defensively, I don't rate Skelly defensively either. Well, going forward, I think he's decent. Both of them are decent going forward. Yeah, but this is the thing, Matty. I think our defense has got better this season, but at the same time, I think the quality of the Prem's got worse. Yeah, and Kenny said on his fan cam, he said, whilst our defense is very good, they were all over the gaffer points in that first half.
Yeah, you saw it, and then you saw when we took off Eze, it was the midfield was getting out of it was overran again. It was getting overran, and this is what I'm saying is that we're going to have to. It's kind of a wait and see deal, because we're going to run into a situation where we play a team that's going to be able to exploit those problems and how we're going to be able to respond. That's kind of what I'm sitting back waiting to see. How is the response going to be this year? Because the adversity is going to come. It's not going to be just pie in the sky all year. And I think some of our fan base think this is going to be pie in the sky, roses are red, violets are blue. I think this is what a lot of our fan base is starting to think, and I want people to understand that there's going to be adversity coming. The key this year for me is how are we going to respond? How's this manager going to respond to the adversity. Because what happens if we get 2 draws back to back? At any
Yeah,
point,
what if we draw with Palace and Burnley?
yeah, what happens there? So
And get knocked out to Brighton in the cup in between.
exactly. And so what's the response going to be? Because the response to me is going to tell me a lot about our title aspirations this season.
We've got Tottenham on the 23rd of November, Bayern on the 26th, Chelsea on the 30th.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's a run-in.
That's 3 tough games in a row. We're going to have some adversity potentially there. If we come through all 3 of them, then all of a sudden we're going into like December thinking, boy, yeah, yo, we might be Christmas champions again. But listen, we are going to wrap. I'm going to go live for an emergency meeting. Make sure you check out Jez's fan cam. Make sure you check out Kenny's fan cam and myself, obviously. Sub to Southern Guna. Matty, always a pleasure, man. What you got coming up on your channel?
Brother, I am working like a madman, bro. My schedule is thrown all over the place, man. But once I get through this period of work, man, I'll get some stuff back up and running. We'll get the channel running. I know some people are like, he ain't doing anything, but we're going to get some stuff lined up. But also, too, I'm kind of waiting to see how the first half of this season. I really wanted to, for me personally, I want to judge, really be able to judge this team after about 15, 20 games. So I can kind of have a good idea of what I'm looking at before I really delve into anything. I think that we're doing well. We're in and around. I can't complain about that. But I just think that as you just stated, those 3 fixtures that you stated in November, I think that November fixtures are going to tell us a lot about where we are and the growth of this team. So hopefully the guys can get through it, all 3 of them, unscathed. And listen, if we can deal with brush Bayern Munich aside, that'll go a long way in the confidence of these guys. If Tuesday night, if we can just brush it,
we can do that later, yeah.
That'll go a long way.
Yeah, they won 1-0 tonight at home. They won 1-0, but that was a good game. But it is what it is. We roll on to Tuesday, man. Emergency meeting, guys. Make sure you sub to Matty. We're out. Laters.